I'm gonna start to do this thing where in each and every single one of my videos, we're going to put up a new vocabulary of the day. I am trying my best to expand my vocabulary and learn bigger words just for my own personal development. I've also been reading a lot of books, which will definitely help broaden I have more vocabulary. So, yeah, today's word of the day is we don't have to understand life. We need to be life, not try to understand it. And this is something that happens and pops up in my mind whenever I catch myself trying to be too analytical, too logical, really figuring out the solution to every single life problem, and just finding myself getting very upset when I don't feel like I have all of my ducks in a row, all of my T's crossed, and just my life all together. And whenever I feel like there's a minor mishap or a issue, I have to understand why this is happening to me, and really break down like what's the purpose of life and what's my purpose in life. And it just goes on to a whole rabbit hole of just self-doubt, feeling perturbed, discomfort, unease, unsettled, and the solutions to life are so simple, and I feel like they're made simple on purpose because we as humans tend to complicate things and overthink things a lot. And this is off topic, but I feel like that's probably a reason why a lot of times I'll overthink a question on a test, and the answer is so obvious, but I'll trick myself into thinking like, oh no, like that obviously can't be the answer because it's too obvious. Like I obviously have to think deeper and make this more complicated to get the right answer, right? And so I'm good at tests now, but when I was a kid, when I was younger, I used to always do that to myself and think that the simple answer was never the answer because it's too simple. And of course, the simple answer is always going to be the answer. Like, cliche things are always right. The most cliche, annoying, cheesy sayings are always correct. Like, it's very simple. Like, the way that the creator constructed life, I think that the blueprint is so simple that we overlook the blueprint of life. We overlook the solutions in life because it's like right in our face. And when something's right in your face, you're trying to look above it and around it to see that it can't be this, it's right in my face. You know what I'm saying? It's right in my face. And when you just find all your life problems, I'm talking about like the darkest, deepest things you might be going through. Like you might feel like you cannot breathe. Like you wake up and you're like, dang, like, like I woke up today, like, Godspeed, but it makes me feel a way when I and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people experience this, but when I was going through a phase in my life where I did not like waking up, I was like, oh, I have to wake up again and deal with life. It doesn't feel good, of course. It doesn't feel, you're very like, you're in a really deep state of melancholy, but when you allow yourself to feel each emotion deeply, and I mean each emotion deeply, you'll start to realize a lot of things are in patterns. A lot of things are in cycles. And things repeat. How do I say this? Because things don't fully repeat, Things happen in cycles, but they don't repeat, if that makes sense. Things happen, but they won't happen the same way. They'll happen very similar, but in different scenarios. And so I think once you start to really, really, really allow yourself to take a step back, like be in your being, be in your body, but really take a step back while being in your body, if that makes sense. Like be you, right? Live life, but like whenever you take quick moments to really live life and look around and like really like be present, and you're like, wait, you'll start to realize that simple things in life are what makes life life. When you try to live life, understanding life, like you're living life but you're trying to understand at the same time, it won't mesh well. It won't make sense. It'll make sense till it won't. And then you're going to be on that consistent cycle of trying to make it make sense. And then whenever you just live life, knowing that life is uncertain, life is like, you cannot predict life. Life cannot be predicted by the most intelligent scientists in the world. So much science is pseudoscience. A lot of science is not fully tested. A lot of science is always going to need to be retested, always going to need to be backed up, always going to have to be updated, right? Life is never always for certain. I really feel like it stems from a fear of the unknown. A lot of us fear not knowing what's going to happen next. And when you let go of that fear by simply, it's so simple, but it's hard for people to do, by simply starting a small habit of like letting things go, like taking a step back and like surrendering to your specific moment. You're trying to go to a concert and the concert ran out of tickets, and you know people who have concert tickets but they don't want to give up their tickets, and you're just trying to find a way to get there to go to this concert. And when you just allow yourself to like, you know what, I'm not gonna go, it might hurt, I really wanted to go, it's my favorite artist, but I can't go. As soon as you let go, do you realize how someone will literally come up to you and be like, hey, like, my mom got sick, I gotta stay home, you want my ticket? You know, once we let go and surrender, a lot of things just come to us. It's crazy how that works. Whenever you put in so much effort and so much time into something and it's not going the way you want it, as soon as you take a step back and like, hey, you know what? Drop the boat. I'm gonna let God drive the boat. I'm gonna let God take the wheel. You know, I'm gonna let life, you know what? You got it. You won. You know what, life? You ate and left no crumbs. That's what you did. And when you let life drive, sometimes, like you play passenger princess and let life drive for you, you'll start to realize that letting go is the most hardest, easiest thing you can ever do for yourself. It's hard for people to do, but once you do it, life is so easy for you. The more and more you incorporate small, tiny micro habits to take step backs, whenever you're given an opportunity to take a step back, whenever you catch yourself getting frustrated over something not happening, something not going your way, then that's your opportunity. Like, remember, this is your opportunity to take a step back, let life do its thing, let go and let life. Let go and let life, right? And when you start to like build these small habits, it'll grow into bigger habits, and now that's just how you maneuver throughout life now. Whenever you catch yourself, because it's gonna happen. Like, we're always going to constantly be learning, and I can talk to you like this now, like how this is exactly how I talk to myself. Like, I'm talking to myself right now, right? But I'm talking to you. I might get off this video and I might get frustrated, but by me building micro habits in my subconscious mind and now conscious mind, because I'm aware of it now, to be like micro habits of letting go, micro habits of surrender, it's going to allow me to maneuver and maintain that emotion of like, okay, whenever things aren't going my way, I'm gonna let go. And every time I let go, or most of the time when I let go, 80%, 85% of times when I let go, things always happening in a better way. Things end up happening in a way I didn't even imagine it was gonna happen. It'll inure your experience of defeat, of trauma, of uncertainty, of the unknown.